I'm Charlie Munger. I'm 99 years old. I've been investing for over 70 years, and I'm worth about $2.5 billion. But here's what nobody talks about. I once started a year with less than $0, negative net worth, broke, divorced, drowning in debt, and watching my 9-year-old son die of leukemia while I couldn't afford proper medical treatment. That was 1962. I was 38 years old, rock bottom. So when people ask me, and they do ask me, Charlie, if you had to start 2026 with absolutely nothing, what would you do? I don't have to guess. I lived it. I clawed my way out of that hole once. And if I had to do it again today, starting this year with $0, I know exactly what I'd do. Not theory, not hope, not some motivational garbage about positive thinking. I'm talking about a specific, step-by-step plan based on 70 years of actually doing this. A plan that works whether the economy is good or bad, whether the market is up or down, whether you're 25 or 55. Because here's the truth most people don't understand. Starting with nothing isn't your biggest problem. Your biggest problem is that you don't have a plan. You're making it up as you go. You're copying what broke people do, wondering why you stay broke. I'm about to give you the exact plan I used. The same principles that took me from negative net worth to billions. And if you're starting 2026 broke, or nearly broke, or just feeling behind, this might be the most important 40 minutes you spend all year. Because at the end of this, you're going to know exactly what to do. Month by month, dollar by dollar. No confusion, no excuses, just the plan. Let's begin. First, let me tell you something that might surprise you. If I had to start 2026 with $0 in my bank account, I wouldn't be scared. I'd be excited. Because starting with nothing gives you 3 massive advantages that rich people don't have anymore. Advantage number 1, you can take risks they can't. When you have nothing to protect, no lifestyle to maintain, no expensive house you're terrified of losing, no country club membership you're desperate to keep. You're free. And freedom is the ultimate wealth advantage. I see rich people all the time. They're trapped. They make $300,000 a year, but they spend $295,000. And they're terrified to take any risk because they might lose their BMW lease or have to pull their kids out of private school. They're slaves to their own lifestyle. You don't have that problem. You're starting 2026 with nothing? Good. You can move fast. Advantage number 2, your mistakes are cheap. If you try something this year and it fails, what did you lose? A few $100, maybe $1,000? That's nothing. That's tuition. When I make a mistake now, it costs me millions. When Warren makes a mistake, it costs him billions. But your mistakes, they're affordable. So you can experiment. You can try 3 or 4 different approaches to making money this year. One of them will work. And the lessons you learn from the failures will be worth more than the money you lost. Advantage number 3, compound interest hasn't worked against you yet. You know what most people don't realize? Poverty compounds too. If you're 45 years old starting 2026 with $0, you've been compounding bad decisions for 25 years. But if you're younger, or if this is just a temporary setback, you haven't lost much time. Every year you waste between age 20 and 40 costs you roughly $100,000 in retirement money. But starting right now, at the beginning of this year with the right plan, you can make up for lost time. Now, I need to be honest with you. Starting with nothing is an advantage, but only if you actually do something with it. Most people who start 2026 broke will end 2026 broke. They'll waste another year. They'll make New Year's resolutions on January 1st and break them by January 15th. They'll blame the economy, blame their boss, blame inflation, blame politicians. And in 12 months, they'll be sitting in exactly the same place, wondering why nothing changed. Don't be that person, because I'm about to give you the plan that ensures you don't end up back here next year. If you follow what I'm about to tell you, and I mean actually follow it, not just nod along and then go back to your old habits, by the end of this year, you will have money saved. You will have income streams that didn't exist before, and you will be on a trajectory that leads to wealth. I've watched this plan work for 70 years. It worked in the 1960s when I was broke. It worked in the 1980s when my investment firm was small. It works today, and it will work for you this year. But you have to commit to it. Not for a week, not for a month, for the entire year. Because wealth isn't built in moments, it's built in years. And this year, 2026, this is the year you start building. So here's the plan. 7 specific steps. Each one builds on the last. By the time we're done, you'll know exactly what to do in January, what to do in March, what to do in June, and what position you need to be in by December. Let's start with step 1. Step 1 starts right now in January, and it's simple. Stop the bleeding. If you're starting this year with $0, it's because money is leaving your life faster than it's coming in. That has to stop immediately. Not next month, not when you feel more stable, today. Here's what I'd do on January 1st if I woke up broke. I'd write down every single place money goes, every subscription, every monthly payment, every habit that costs money, and then I'd cut half of it. Car payment? If I'm broke, I don't have a car payment. I sell the car, buy a $3,000 used Honda Civic with cash, and I eliminate $400 a month in payments plus $150 in insurance. That's $550 a month I just freed up. Over 12 months, that's $6,600. That's not nothing when you're starting from zero. Eating out? Gone. I cook every meal at home. Rice, beans, eggs, chicken, vegetables. Cost me maybe $5 a day. Most people spend that on one lunch. Over a year, that's a $4,000 swing from spending $3,000 eating out to spending $1,800 on groceries. Another $1,200 saved. Subscriptions? Netflix, Spotify, gym membership, whatever else is bleeding $10 here and $15 there, gone. All of it. I can read books from the library for free and do push-ups in my living room. That's another $50 a month, $600 a year. I'm not telling you to live like this forever. I'm telling you to live like this for 1 year, 12 months. And in exchange, you get your financial life back. Most people won't do this. They'll say, I deserve to enjoy life while they're broke. That's why they stay broke. I'm 99 years old and worth billions, and I'll tell you something. The only thing you deserve when you're broke is to stop being broke. Everything else is a luxury you haven't earned yet. So that's January. Stop the bleeding. Cut everything that's not essential. Live on less than you ever thought possible. Because every dollar you don't spend this month is a dollar that starts working for you next month. Step 2. February and March. 2 months dedicated to one thing, earning more money than you've ever earned before. Here's what most broke people don't understand. You can't invest your way out of poverty. If you're starting 2026 with $0, putting $50 a month into index funds isn't going to change your life. Not this year, not next year, maybe in 30 years, but you need help now. So forget investing for the next 60 days. Your only job is to increase income. If I was starting this year broke, here's what I'd do. First, I'd sell my time at the highest possible rate. That means finding the most valuable skill I have and selling it. Can you write? Offer copywriting services. Can you design? Freelance graphic design. Can you code? Contract software work. Can you speak clearly? Cold calling for commission-only sales jobs. I don't care if it's not your passion. We're not building a career right now. We're building capital. There's a difference. And here's the key. I wouldn't work one job. I'd work 3. Full-time job during the day, whatever pays the most. Freelance work in the evenings, 3 to 4 hours. Weekend gig, driving, delivery, handyman work, whatever adds another $500 a month. Most people will say, that's too hard or I'll burn out. You know what's hard? Being 65 years old and broke. You know what burnout really is? Working until you're 75 because you didn't work hard enough at 35. I'd work 70-hour weeks for 2 months, February and March, 8 weeks of maximum effort, and my goal would be to save $5,000. $5,000 doesn't sound like much, but when you're starting from zero, it's everything. Because $5,000 gives you options. It's your first bit of leverage. It's proof that you can delay gratification, and psychologically, having $5,000 in the bank changes you. You stop thinking like a broke person and start thinking like an investor. So that's February and March. Work harder than you've ever worked. Stack income streams. Save every dollar and hit $5,000 by April 1st. Step 3, April through June. Now we build the emergency wall. Once you hit $5,000, every instinct in your body will tell you to invest it. Don't. Not yet. Because here's what happens to broke people who start investing too early. An emergency hits. The car breaks down. Medical bill. Job loss. And suddenly they have to sell their investments at the worst possible time, usually at a loss, to cover basic expenses. Then they're back to zero, and they quit. I've seen this pattern destroy people for 70 years. They get excited. They invest their first $5,000, and then life happens. And they're done. So instead, from April to June, we're building the emergency wall. That's $10,000 in cash, just sitting there, boring, not growing much, earning maybe 4% in a high-yield savings account. Most investment experts will tell you this is stupid. They'll say, you're losing money to inflation, and that money should be in the market. Ignore them. They've never been broke. They don't understand the psychology of scarcity. When you've been broke, you know that the worst financial position isn't having cash that earns 4%. The worst position is having no cash when an emergency hits. So for 3 months, April through June, the goal is the same as February and March. Maximum income, minimum expenses. Keep working those multiple streams. Keep living lean. But now, instead of saving your first $5,000, you're saving the next $10,000. And here's what's going to happen. By June, you'll have $15,000 total, and something will shift in your brain. You'll stop feeling desperate. You'll stop making decisions from fear, because $15,000 buys you time. If you lose your job, you can survive for 3 to 6 months while you find a better one. If an emergency hits, you can handle it without going into debt. This is the foundation. This is what every wealthy person has, but nobody talks about. It's not sexy, it's not exciting, but it's absolutely essential. So that's April through June. Build your emergency wall. Get to $15,000 cash. And then, only then, do we start investing. Step 4, July and August. Now we invest. But not the way most people think. If you're starting 2026 with nothing, you're not ready for stocks yet. You're not ready for real estate. You're not ready for crypto or gold or whatever else financial gurus are selling. You're ready for one thing, investing in yourself. Here's what I mean. You have $15,000 saved. $10,000 is your emergency fund. You don't touch that. But the other $5,000, that's your first investment capital. And the highest return investment you can possibly make right now is in your own earning ability. If I was starting this year broke, here's what I'd spend that $5,000 on. 1, skills that increase my income. If I'm making $20 an hour, I'd spend $2,000 on a certification that gets me to $35 an hour. Could be coding boot camp. Could be real estate license. Could be truck driving CDL. I don't care what it is as long as the math works. Spend $2,000 to earn $15 more per hour. That's a 750% annual return on investment. 2. Tools that let me earn money independently. If I can write, I'd spend $1,000 on a good laptop and software. If I can build, I'd buy quality tools. If I can sell, I'd buy inventory. The goal is to own the means of production for my own income stream. 3. Networking and positioning. I'd spend $1,000 going to industry conferences, joining professional groups, taking people to lunch who are where I want to be. This sounds soft, but it's not. Every major financial opportunity I've ever had came from knowing the right person at the right time. 4. Keep $1,000 as an opportunity fund for deals that pop up, distressed goods you can flip, emergency freelance equipment, whatever. Now, most broke people will say, but Charlie, I want to invest in stocks. I know, but stocks will still be there next year, and you'll have more money to invest with then. Right now, the best investment is closing the income gap between where you are and where you need to be. So that's July and August. Invest in your earning power. Increase your hourly value. Build tools for independence, and set yourself up so that by September, you're earning significantly more than you were in January. Step 5. September and October. Now we build the second income stream. By September, if you follow this plan, you're in a completely different position than January. You have $10,000 emergency fund. You've invested $5,000 in skills and tools. You're earning more per hour, and you're still living lean. Now we build the thing that separates you from everyone else, passive income. And I'm not talking about passive income the way internet gurus sell it. I'm not talking about drop shipping or selling courses or any of that nonsense. I'm talking about real income streams that work while you sleep. If I was doing this today, starting from where you are, here's what I'd build. Option 1, dividend-paying stocks. By September, I'd have saved another $3,000 from increased income. I'd put it into a portfolio of boring, reliable, dividend-paying companies. Not exciting, not sexy. Companies that make soap and toothpaste and insurance. Companies that have paid dividends every year for 50 years. At a 4% dividend yield, $3,000 generates $120 per year. That's $10 a month. Sounds like nothing, right? But that $10 you didn't have to work for. And next month you add another $300 to it. And the month after that, another $300. By December, that $10 becomes $40. By next year, it becomes $200 a month. In 5 years, if you keep feeding it, it becomes $2,000 a month. That's how it works. Option 2, rental property down payment. If I saved aggressively, by September I'd have $15,000 in my emergency fund, plus another $5,000 saved. That's $20,000 total. With FHA loans, I can put 3.5% down on a small duplex in a working-class neighborhood. I live in one unit, I rent out the other. The rent from the other unit covers most of my mortgage. I'm building equity. I'm getting a place to live nearly free, and in 10 years I own a $200,000 asset. Step 5, September and October. Now we build the second income stream. By September, if you follow this plan, you're in a completely different position than January. You have $10,000 emergency fund. You've invested $5,000 in skills and tools. You're earning more per hour, and you're still living lean. Now we build the thing that separates you from everyone else, passive income. And I'm not talking about passive income the way internet gurus sell it. I'm not talking about drop shipping or selling courses or any of that nonsense. I'm talking about real income streams that work while you sleep. If I was doing this today, starting from where you are, here's what I'd build. Option 1, dividend-paying stocks. By September, I'd have saved another $3,000 from increased income. I'd put it into a portfolio of boring, reliable, dividend-paying companies. Not exciting, not sexy. Companies that make soap and toothpaste and insurance. Companies that have paid dividends every year for 50 years. At a 4% dividend yield, $3,000 generates $120 per year. That's $10 a month. Sounds like nothing, right? But that $10 you didn't have to work for. And next month you add another $300 to it. And the month after that, another $300. By December, that $10 becomes $40. By next year, it becomes $200 a month. In 5 years, if you keep feeding it, it becomes $2,000 a month. That's how it works. Option 2, rental property down payment. If I saved aggressively, by September I'd have $15,000 in my emergency fund, plus another $5,000 saved. That's $20,000 total. With FHA loans, I can put 3.5% down on a small duplex in a working class neighborhood. I live in one unit. I rent out the other. The rent from the other unit covers most of my mortgage. I'm building equity. I'm getting a place to live nearly free, and in 10 years I own a $200,000 asset. Step 6, November. This is the discipline test. By November, you're tired. You've been grinding for 10 months. You've been living lean. You've been working multiple streams, and the holidays are coming. This is where most people break. They say, I've been so good all year, I deserve to treat myself. And they blow $2,000 on Christmas gifts and holiday travel and a new wardrobe because I earned it. And then January comes and they're back to broke. I've watched this pattern for 70 years. November and December destroy more financial progress than any other months because people confuse earning money with having money. Just because you earned $60,000 this year doesn't mean you have $60,000. If you spent $58,000, you have $2,000. That's the only number that matters. So here's what I'd do in November if I was following this plan. I'd commit to spending nothing extra. No holiday inflation. No, this year is different. I'd give gifts that cost nothing. My time, homemade food, handwritten letters. I'd tell my family, I'm building a financial foundation this year, and next year I can be more generous, but this year I need to finish what I started. Some people won't understand. Some people will judge you. Let them. They're not paying your bills. And here's what I'd focus on instead. I'd review the last 10 months. How much did I earn? How much did I save? Where am I versus where I wanted to be? What worked? What didn't? And I'd make the plan for December and beyond. Because November isn't about celebrating progress. November is about protecting progress. It's about crossing the finish line without tripping at the last moment. So that's November. Hold the line. Don't break. Stay disciplined, because we're almost there. Step 7, December. This is where we plan your next year. If you followed this plan, actually followed it, not just thought about it, here's where you are by December. You have $10,000 emergency fund. You have a second income stream generating $50 to $200 per month. You've increased your primary income by learning new skills. You have tools and certifications that make you more valuable. And you've proven to yourself that you can delay gratification and execute a plan. In 12 months, you went from zero to solvent. That's huge. But here's the thing, you're not done. You're just getting started. Because now in December we plan year 2, and year 2 is where things accelerate. In year 2 you don't have to build the foundation, you have it. So now you can take more risks, you can invest more aggressively, you can start that business you've been thinking about, you can buy that rental property, you can leave that job that's been holding you back because you have 6 months of expenses saved and a backup income stream. Year 1 is defense, year 2 is offense. So in December, I'd sit down and write out year 2. What's my income goal? What's my savings target? What's the next skill I learn? What's the next investment I make? What does my life look like in 24 months if I keep this up? And then I'd commit to it the same way I committed to year 1. Because here's the truth. Most people never start. Of the people who start, most quit in the first 90 days. Of the people who make it 90 days, most break in November and December. But if you're watching this in December and you actually did it, you made it all 12 months. You're now in the top 5% of people who try to change their financial life. You're not broke anymore. You're not desperate. You're not starting over. You're an investor. You're building wealth. And next year you're going to build even more. That's December. Plan year 2. Commit to the next level and keep going. So that's the plan. 7 steps, 12 months, starting 2026 with $0 and ending it with a foundation for wealth. Let me be very clear about something. This plan works. I know it works because it's the same plan I followed in the 1960s when I was broke. The same principles Warren Buffett followed when he was young. The same approach every self-made wealthy person I know used at some point. But here's the thing nobody wants to hear. Most of you won't do it. You'll watch this video, you'll nod along, you'll say, yeah, that makes sense, and then you'll go right back to doing what you were doing before. You'll keep spending money you don't have on things you don't need. You'll keep hoping something magical happens while you do nothing different. And next year, you'll be sitting in the exact same position wondering why nothing changed. Don't be that person. If you're starting 2026 with nothing, you have a choice right now. You can waste another year, or you can commit to this plan. Not for a week, not for a month, for the entire year. I'm 99 years old. I've been doing this for 7 decades, and I'm telling you, if you follow this plan, in 12 months you will not recognize your financial life. But you have to start. Today. Right now. Stop the bleeding. Increase your income. Build your emergency fund. Invest in yourself. Create a second income stream. Stay disciplined through the holidays. And plan your next year. That's it. That's the whole plan. Now stop watching videos and go do it.